Um, Good evening. This is Gamey McFitness. So today I am doing the Zwift Run Festival 5K. Let me turn the fan on here. So I haven't done one of these events before, so I'm not even 100% sure how to join the event, but it says in the upper right corner, it says starts in 2 minutes. I believe something will pop up in 2 minutes that will allow me to join, hopefully. Let me move my shit over here, out of view here. Let me see if I can So it still says starts in 2 minutes. I don't know if I have to do that. Join now says tour of Watopia. I think that's something else on the left. I'm hoping that in 1 minute something will pop up about the tour, not the tour, but the 5K, the run festival. Where's my... Yeah, forget it. I was gonna try to get Facebook to resend this to my I've got a minute. Let's see if I can get it to work. Of course, it's stupid. It's going to be annoying right when I'm on a countdown. Share now. Okay, so starting now it says. Do I have to click it? Or does it just pop me right in there? Join. Did I unselect it? Shit. What's it doing? So I'm trying to join this Zwift Run Festival, and I don't know how to do it. It says starting now. Oh, what the hell? Going. Why isn't it starting? What do I have to press? I don't think that's it. I do not know how to join the Run Festival. That says it's starting now. Run type. Plans. Running plans. This is shitty. How do I join the run festival? Do I just hit run and it joins the festival? Race partners. Run. I don't know if I'm in the run festival or not. Ah, this isn't the right track. This is not it. Event is starting. Let's go. There we go. They do not make that intuitive at all. Okay, so it starts in 2 minutes. So I can sort of am I not joined in the event? Do I need to? Why does it say join event? Okay, I believe this is annoying. So I believe I am in what? Why does it say 607? Anyway, I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is super unintuitive. Will it let me just... So I think one of the guys there in the orange suits is me, next to Y Matsui. And I guess in 5 minutes and 23 seconds, I'll actually start moving. But this user interface to join this run festival is super confusing. I have no idea if I did it right. But, uh-oh, people are moving. Why am I not moving? Am I moving? There's an info button. Oops. My phone here is upside down on the treadmill here. T-Walma. Yay, it shows me standing alone. I guess they group people together into like mini groups, and because I didn't know how to join, I'm behind everybody in a different group by myself, which defeats the whole purpose of the 5K. I mean, I could just run by myself in the normal track. Although, I guess maybe it'll give me a little trophy or something if I Also, it says 6.2 miles. So I don't even know if it has me down for the 5K or the 10K. But I'm going to stop after 5K. Oh, there's somebody. People text chat each other when they do bicycling, but when you're running, I don't know how they would type with your body moving. So I wonder, how does his avatar do that? Maybe it just does that because he's not walking. Well, weird. So to start an event, you have to start a different run, and then it'll pop up a thing to move to the event, which I didn't know, and so I'm like 10 minutes late. But whatever. I guess my goal is to stay above the minimum run speed of 5 kilometers per hour for the full hour to get the 5K done in an hour. Because I think they boot you off if you go below the min speed for more than a minute or so. So my goal is to defeat the minimum speed and finish. And also I want to be done within the hour, because I'm supposed to do a poker game around 9:15. If my friends join the poker game. It's an off. We normally do it on Wednesdays, but one of the guys was traveling for work, and he didn't want to try to do it from a hotel. The virtual poker. But they're always late, so if I'm done with this by like 9:10, like if I finish within the hour, then if people decide to do poker, I'll do poker. We'll see if I can do poker better when I'm exhausted. Maybe I'll be too tired to give off poker tells, so I'll destroy them. It looks like they're going at speed, so I'll speed up. See, they look fit. So I set my avatar to be my actual body weight. And they probably did too, so they're going to run way ahead of me to start. Okay, I am moving, so I am in the festival or event. So that's good. Although I believe I can slow down a little bit. So 5K, 5 kilometers per hour, which is the minimum speed, is 3.1 miles per hour. So all I need to do is stay above 3.1 miles per hour for an entire hour. And I kind of want to be pretty close to that. I don't want to be much above. I want to be far enough above 3.1 where it doesn't kick me off if the treadmill skips or whatever. Or I don't know if it gives you a warning or if it just kicks you off. But I'm going to try to stay at 3.2. If it ticks down to 3.1, as the treadmill goes on, I'll have to kick up the speed a little bit. I actually think I'm going faster than 3.2 because right now my treadmill is set at 4.0, but the speed sensor is in my shoe. So the speed sensor that Zwift is using is actually in my shoe. So, and there's a big difference between 3.2 miles per hour and 4 miles an hour. But I don't know which one is right. Why is the time not moving? And why does it still say 0.0 miles? That's not good. Something is wrong. Or maybe it just doesn't show you when you're in the thing. Third, it says. Well, it does say 118 steps per minute. It is seeing my steps. Oh, there the time started. I don't know why it didn't start right away. An hour feels like a long time. Especially considering the time didn't start until I was like 5 minutes in. So I signed up for these Monday and Tuesday. Also, I think it will show a different track each day. And these are based on some Asian islands, like Makuri Island or something it said. You can probably go back and watch the setup of the stream and it'll give the name of the island, but if it really matters. But so I think all of the tracks are based on the same like tropical Asian island chain, subtropical maybe. Maybe not tropical, maybe just spring-like climate with flowers and stuff, which there's a few yellow flowers in the distance, but I've seen part of this track before and it was quite beautiful with the scenery in places. It's a newer track. It's been around on Zwift for maybe, or map I should say, a new map. It's been around for a few months, this map. But yeah, I did have the idea that if my heart rate gets too high, I have to shut up. Because I did notice that if I keep talking like this, I'm not breathing as well and my heart rate does go up. Oh, I haven't set to view chat. I don't think anybody's gonna chat though. Oh, wood bucket. Maybe they don't count the lead in portion of the running stuff. I don't know. Is that a common thing in races that there's a little bit of the track at the beginning that they don't count? Because everybody's like jumbled up in the real world in the race. Like they're so close together they can't even really run yet. So they don't count that. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. I've done a couple of 5Ks, but I've never done like a real race and like delved into the minutia of the rules and how they do things. For the bike stuff, they count it. Huh. Yeah, I think I'm going to run out of shit to talk about real quick here. So the purpose of this Gaming McFitness channel is to play video games while I'm exercising. And I have this homemade video game controller made out of wood and PVC pipe and like radio buttons and buttons that I bought off of Amazon and got from like Home Depot and stuff. But for Zwift, I don't use any of that. I'm just running. My hands mean nothing. But yeah, the goal is to make a bunch of... yeah, I started with the bike stuff too, wood bucket, but when the virus first started in spring 2020, I was biking for like an hour and a half almost every day. And after a few months, my hips started bothering me, and so I had to quit. And so I bought a treadmill, and I switched to that. And I have gone back and bicycled on Zwift. And if I do it for like 40 minutes or maybe an hour, like once a week max, my hip doesn't bother me too bad. But I don't think it can be my regular thing, the cycling. When I was a baby, apparently, I don't remember this, but I rolled off of a bed and I broke my hip and I had like a whole body cast. Not a whole body, but like my legs, and they had to like cut a hole to use the bathroom, and it was like up to my... I've seen photos, it's horrible. But I don't know if that's related to my mild hip problems, if I overuse, or I don't know, maybe it's a pretty cheap bike I was using, the indoor bike, but I don't know, maybe I would allow myself to like rock back and forth when I pedal. I haven't, maybe like posture when you cycle maybe makes a difference. I don't know. But I decided to switch to mainly running. Although I did make a homemade game controller for the bike, and that's better. Like playing video games when you run on a treadmill is probably a dumb idea. I haven't fallen over. I have slipped and caught myself a few times. But I go slower. Like I'm at about 3 to 4 miles per hour now. But when I'm playing the video game, I go slower. And I pick these like point and click indie games when I'm running. Because for one, it's a little laggy sometimes, and like pressing and holding the stick down, the button doesn't work very well. So it's in hard games you lose a lot, and it's annoying. So for this treadmill here, I played Vanishing of Ethan Carter, Close to the Sun, Firewatch. These are all like indie-ish point and click exploration games. But with a bicycle, I could play A-list games. Like I was playing Guardians of the Galaxy on Xbox, the new one that came out a few months ago, 6 months ago, ish. And I was playing Assassin's Creed on the bike. So it's funner to play you can play better games on the bike, but then it bothers my hip. So I don't do it that much. What was I talking about before that? But yeah, the goal of the channel is to gradually build more game controllers and fitness equipment. I've been building one that for a rowing machine. I started building it in the fall. I live in Michigan where it's cold in the winter. And I moved. I was living in my sister's basement during the virus to save money, but I moved like 2.5 hours away where I'm at now to my own apartment now that things are opening back up. So all of my equipment for building the game controllers is still at my sister's, and because she has a house with a garage, so I'm still renting out like one little, like the smallest spare room there, and then half of the garage. So every month I'll spend like a week and a half to 2 weeks there building my game controllers, and that's where the rowing machine is. And then when it's built and it's working, I'll move it over here to use it more often. But for the rowing machine, it's taken me forever to build that, and I stopped working on it in the winter because it was so cold in the garage. It's not a heated garage. But yeah, so the rowing machine game controller is being built. It looks cool, the design. I'm going to be proud to show it off. And I've been filming me building it like Mark Rober or somebody does, but it's so boring. I'm not witty like they are. Even this is pretty boring compared to them, but I have so many hours of me building shit, but it's me drilling a tiny little hole on a tiny little PVC pipe. I'm not building like a glitter bomb thing that explodes in somebody's face or shoots something 100 feet in the air or explodes. It's boring building stuff. So I don't know if I'm ever going to bother to compile a video of me building the game controllers. The effort versus reward on that might not be worth it. And I also bought some like the smallest electronics I could find to put a video game controller in a jump rope handle, and then the actual rope, instead of it being rope, it would be the electronic wires. So the left-handed game controllers would be in one handle, and the right-handed game controllers would be in the other handle, and then the wires to connect the two would be inside the rope. And then I have a Bluetooth thing. That one, I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out how to shove all the electronics in the jump rope handle. So I had to, okay, so one AAA battery is going to go in one handle, and then another AAA battery is going to go in the other handle, because I can't fit a bigger battery in there. And then it's like, well, now I need a step up voltage circuit to get from 3 volts to 5 volts. It's like, well, what's the smallest step up circuit I can buy and then, okay, what's the smallest Bluetooth module I could buy? So I bought a bunch of tiny electronic shit to make a jump rope game controller, but I haven't really designed like how the buttons will fit in your hand, and that'll, of course, where the buttons are on the handle is going to affect where the electronics go inside the handle. And I bought a 3D printer on a Black Friday Christmas sale last year that I haven't tried to use yet. And that'll probably be the first project that I try to use. That is the handles for the jump rope game controller. But I think my goal is to maybe have the rowing machine one at least working enough to show off as a prototype in like May. And then it'll probably be a few months after that before I even attempt the jump rope game controller. I'll have to start, when I go visit my sister's house, I'll have to start learning how to use that 3D printer and planning out how the handle is going to fit your hand and whatnot. It's going to take, I'm not a proficient builder. Like, I only spend like a couple hours at a time on it. I don't treat it like a full-time job and work 10-hour days. Yeah. And then I bought an omnidirectional treadmill. That's also at my sister's house. And I just got that to work. I ordered it in November on a Black Friday sale again. And it didn't arrive until January. And then my sister caught the virus, and then I caught the virus. So I didn't get down there to play with it at all until February. It was just sitting in the box. And then I was down there for a week and I got it put together, but I couldn't get it to work the first trip down there in like late February, mid to late February. And then like the beginning of March, I actually got it to work. But the game, I was trying to play Fallout 4 VR. The game, and I was using a Oculus Quest wirelessly, and the game was so jumpy that I could hardly play the game. I did stream that, and it looks better on the stream than what I was seeing in my headset. So the way I was doing it, I was running the game on the PC, and then I had an HDMI switcher connected to the PC, which streams it, but then at the PC wirelessly over Wi-Fi sends it to the Quest. So the streaming video was straight from the PC, but what I was actually seeing in my headset was over Wi-Fi with all the legs and stuff, and re-rendering it in the Quest, however that works. So it looked pretty bad on the stream, but it was even worse in my head. Like I was in Sanctuary trying to kill the 4 bloat flies, and I died because I just couldn't see what was going on. Granted, it is harder in VR, Fallout 4 VR. For one thing, there's no VATS. Well, apparently there's a slow motion. It doesn't pause time, it slows time. But I didn't know how to get it to work. And it's harder to see where the bullets are going, especially with my shitty video. So I don't think I'm like shooting at the bloat fly, and it's like strobe light video because the video is so laggy, and I could not kill the 4 bloat flies in Fallout 4. I had to have Codsworth go and shoot them that was my omnidirectional treadmill VR experience so far. So I'll have to go back. I am running a pretty old PC with maybe it's got 32 gigs of RAM. That's like an i5 with like a 4 or 5 year old NVIDIA graphics card. So it's probably right around the minimum specs. And also, for the Quest, you're supposed to have what's called a DOCSIS 3.1 router, Wi-Fi router, so that the Wi-Fi bandwidth is better to the Quest. And I didn't have that at my sister's house. I have one here, but so there's some tweaks I can try to make the Fallout 4 on the omnidirectional treadmill maybe work better, that I'm going to try late next week. But yeah, the goal with this fitness gaming channel is to have lots of ways to work out and play video games at the same time. So right now I have the omnidirectional treadmill without any, it's just store-bought. I haven't tweaked it at all. I have thought about seeing if I can mount a monitor on it that turns when I turn, so I don't have to play VR games at all. I could just play like Witcher 3 or something, like some open world game where you do a lot of running. And I haven't played that yet. Well, maybe an hour into it. But I haven't done that yet. But so I have the omnidirectional treadmill, I have this treadmill with the homemade game controller, and then I have the exercise bike with the homemade game controller, which is actually the first one I built. So right now I have 3 devices for fitness gaming, and then I have 2 in progress, which is the rowing machine game controller and then the jump rope game controller, which I believe the rowing machine one will work great. I believe I will be able to play at least the Firewatch type games, point and click exploration games, while I'm rowing. And then the other thing I want to do eventually is get, for the bike and the rowing machine, get the actual running or the actual speed of cycling to affect the game. Right now it's just, I'm using the hand controls, but my actual running on the treadmill doesn't affect the games at all, or the exercise bike, same thing. But I want to get it to the omnidirectional treadmill, the running does affect the game because that's the whole purpose of the omnidirectional treadmill. But I want to try to find games where, especially for the exercise bike and rowing machine, where you're controlling a motorcycle. There's one called Road Redemption, which is I don't know if you're old enough to remember Road Rash, which is one of my favorite old games from the Nintendo era. Maybe a little older than NES, a little newer I should say. I had it on a PC, a Windows 95 PC, game called Road Rash, where you're on motorcycles and you're hitting people with clubs and shit. So I want to get that to work where my pedaling actually affects the speed the character goes in the game. Then maybe for the rowing machine, maybe some sort of I did find like there was a wheelchair basketball game, or like you're on your wheelchair and you're racing, and so the act of like pushing the wheels on the wheelchair is similar to the act of rowing, or maybe like a downhill skiing type game, where most of those though you don't need to, like Steep or Riders Republic, you don't need to really push yourself along, you're just going down the hill. But yeah, eventually that's in the plans, is that to get the actual fitness that I'm doing to go into the game, the walking or the cycling or the rowing. Now, actually, years ago, I had the Road Redemption working with my exercise bike, because my exercise bike is actually, it had game controls built in the handle. It's called VIR Zoom, but they didn't quite go out of business, but they don't sell the consumer model anymore. And the little utility program to mess with the game controller inputs to get it to work with custom games, they haven't maintained it, and it doesn't work with the latest Steam. So I can't get it to work anymore. But so I could pedal in Road Redemption, and it would affect how fast I was going on the motorcycle, like years ago, but before I started streaming. But it doesn't work anymore. So I'd have to write my own program, probably base it off of some other open source project, to get the Bluetooth signal from the bicycle and put it into like a format that I can input it into Steam. Which would be a lot of work, but it can be done. I've Googled around, and Steam has a public API programming interface. And there's some open source projects to interact with it to make it somewhat easier. I just had never felt like doing it. That is a thing that I could do here, like the coding part, but I just never got around to it. At least some of the coding, and then I would have to go to my sister's house where the bike is to test it. But when I was playing that Road Redemption, when I had it working with the bike, it kind of sucks because the bike handles only had like 4 buttons on each hand, so there weren't enough controls to play the game. So there's like a nitrous oxide turbo button, and I just didn't have enough buttons to map that to anything. So it was really hard to advance in the game and win races, because turbo was a big enough part of the game where if you didn't have it, it was hard to win. So I got that to work a long time ago, and then I sort of just abandoned it because although it was fun to have my pedaling affect the game, if you lose all the time, the fun evaporates pretty quickly. But so what I did is, over the last year, is I I modified that bicycle that already had some built-in buttons, and I added more buttons using like a similar like PVC pipe and buttons bought on Amazon and stuff to add. So I have a full Xbox 360 PlayStation like button set, like ABXY, left and right, sticks, left and right bumper trigger, the whole shebang now. But I didn't have that at the time. Man, only halfway done. I guess the 5K is like 3.1 miles, so maybe I'm a little over halfway done. Let me speed up 1 mile an hour because I'm at 3.1. And again, the minimum speed they allow you to go is 5K. Yeah, Woodbuck, I kept talking when you said that you were going to be right back. I was just talking about my other game controllers that I'm building. I pretty much probably covered it since you were back. The rowing machine one and the jump rope one. So I'm going faster than I normally go when I play the game. Uh-oh, my heart rate is getting up higher into the orange zone. I forgot to look up the max heart rate by age, and I'm about 40. Uh-oh, now it's not even working. Yeah. I think if I'm below 150, I think I'm fine. But I don't know if I'd want to be at 150 beats per minute for a whole hour. But if I can stay in the 130s for the next 15 minutes or so, I think that's fine. And then if it starts to tick up into the 140s towards when I'm almost done, I think that's fine. But yeah, if you look at the other two runners, 8-minute mile, 9-minute mile, I'm at 18:46 mile. They're like more than twice as fast as me. Even if I was fit, I don't understand how you can sprint on the treadmill and not fall. For one thing, this is like a medium-sized treadmill. And there's a wall right behind me. But even with like a gym, like large-sized treadmill, going super fast where you're not holding the handles at all, I don't think I can do that. That just seems sketchy to me. My throat is dry. Yeah, my heart rate went up because I was drinking water, breathing less. It is cool. So I have a heart rate monitor below my shirt here. And you can tell, like, if I start talking too much and I'm not breathing as well, the heart rate goes up. Or if I try, like, breathing super deeply, the heart rate goes down. It's kind of cool that you can actually see that on a sensor. back in the green. Oh, orange, or yellow green. Right along the cautious heart rate, I guess. So in this Zwift, on the top right, there's like a grade, like if you're going uphill. I'm going uphill at a 4% grade. So that means per step you don't go as far when you're going uphill versus downhill, especially when you're bicycling. So I don't know about how the track doesn't look particularly hilly, but when it says I've gone 1.8 miles, and like depending on whether the remainder of the track is uphill or downhill, it might affect how much longer it'll be before I finish. Let's see if I can turn this fan up. How do I even do that? I thought there was a lever. Okay, that's good. If I stop too long, it'll kick me out of the race, I think. Better. This I'm using this. It's like I bought it on Amazon. It's like a microphone for fitness instructors. It's pretty good in that I think I can hear the fan a little bit now in the mic, but it's not that bad. It does a pretty good job at making my voice hearable despite the treadmill and the fan and all the other noise. It's like $50. Pretty good deal. Works pretty well. It's just a mic though, so I had to have separate headphones. I guess most of the time a fitness instructor though doesn't need headphones. Still going uphill, quite a gradient. 13%. You can buy, if you want to spend thousands of dollars, you can buy equipment that simulates hills, like it makes it like a treadmill that'll incline for you, or a bicycle that'll make the pedaling more difficult to match the game. There's no way I'm going to spend that type of money. Maybe if the world gets nuked and everybody's stuck inside for years, then maybe I'll, assuming my money has value, I'll buy a fancy thing to work out better indoors. Because you want to be fit to protect your food hoard from the raiders in the nuclear apocalypse. So you gotta work out on your treadmill. I just about slipped there when I put the water bottle down. So I have a feeling this windy part of the track is going to be all uphill. And then once the windy part's done, then it'll be a downhill. But by then I'll be just about done with the 5K run. Once it gets, it's 8:53, once it gets to be 9 o'clock, my friends will start texting me about the poker game. Because I'm supposed to do a poker game around 9, but we always start at least 15 minutes late. Hopefully we'll see my friend Gus text us, because otherwise there might not be enough people. For poker. Yeah, my heart rate went up a bit, around 140. So I was able to forward this to my Facebook page, so I don't know if any of my Facebook friends popped on. A couple of them probably did, found out how boring it is to watch me run on a treadmill and then leave. But that's enough to peer pressure me into finishing. I might check later to see if I actually finished. And I don't want to humiliate myself by not finishing. So that's the goal. The short-term goal. Peer pressure myself into actually working out. I think that's a deer. You can't shoot it, and I don't think it can maul you or chase you. It's just scenery. But yeah, I think once I cross that river on the map, then I'll be going hopefully downhill, and then that way I can finish in time for the poker game. squirrel. And then what else? Couldn't tell what that is. Oh, a bird. For bicycling mode in Zwift, you can buy gear to make you go faster. You can earn gear. I don't know if like your shirt when you're running or your shoes would make as much difference as far as how fast you go in the game. I don't think it would when you're running. But I think I could tell. I upgraded my gear once when I was cycling, and I think I could tell the difference. I did notice when you're cycling too that if you're fat, you go down hills faster. Like I coast like past all the skinny people when I'm going downhill. Because my character is my real weight, which is like 230. But it's harder to go uphill if you're heavy. So they try to be sort of realistic with the physics. Got maybe 12 minutes left, like 9:12. I'll finish-ish. Still going uphill though. That kind of sucks. Oh, there's the track on the top right. There's the end line, finish line. So tired I couldn't think of the word finish. Not a good sign for my poker playing prowess. If my brain is too tired to think of the word finish. So the other two runners must be going more than 5K, otherwise they would have finished. Because in this run festival you can do 5K, 10K, and then maybe 15 or 20K, something like that, and then a full marathon length. Or you can, I think you could even do like a shorter than 5K, like a mini run. I wanted to do 5K because it's a little more than I normally do when I play the video game for an hour. It's just a little bit of a challenge, but it's not pushing myself too far. Walking a little too far forward and kicking the front of the treadmill. Well, maybe, because remember when I first started, it didn't seem to take effect for 5 minutes, like the time. So maybe the end line is in the right spot, but the start line was in the wrong spot. So maybe I'll finish the 5K before actually I expected because of the way it seemed to have mispositioned the start line. because it looks like I'm pretty damn close to the finish line. Oh, one of the other 2 runners in my group finished. Oh, it says plus 1 more in group. I don't know why they don't just show all 3 of us. Maybe the 3rd guy got so far ahead that they just don't bother to show it. I don't know why I'm running right through the railing. Trying to shave off a little time by warping through matter. Ghost cheating. There's probably no rule against that because they never thought it was according to the laws of physics, a possibility to cheat that way. Getting close. I really think my friend Gus isn't gonna pop up, so I don't think I have to worry about the poker game. Or maybe he's watching me now. Maybe he went on Facebook and saw, oh, Tom's exercising. I'm gonna... if he was watching, he would be heckling. I think, so I have a group of like 5 friends that we do poker and stuff. One guy used to be the fattest by far, and then he got a gastric bypass, and then he started working out heavily. Like every day he says he's going to Planet Fitness. So I think he's no longer the least fit. And for a while, I think I was the least fit, like early during the virus. But then I started working out, and I got a little fitter, but... oh, fuck it, I'll say it. My friend Gus gained a lot of weight, so I think he's now in last place as far as fitness. So we've almost like reversed our standing, although the other 2 guys are in decent shape. I might pass Marty as far as fitness, but I don't think Shallow's liver, the one who was the fattest, would ever be the fittest, cardio-wise anyway. I don't think we'll do a complete 180, but we've definitely switched places a lot as far as fitness, relative fitness. I'm actually trying to get my friend Gus, because he lives nearby, to do there's a Plymouth, Michigan run group, and I'm trying to get my friend Gus to do it with me. So I have somebody to talk to who's my fitness level. I know another guy who does it, but he's so much higher in fitness level. I don't think he'll want to run with me. There, I crossed the... well, I don't think that's... it'll ding and stuff once I go 5K. I think they misplaced the finish line. So I'm not gonna quit yet. I think that's not finish. I'll go at least until it says 3.2 miles, or until it dings and says you have completed 5K. Maybe because this is a run festival, it's not a normal track. They were sort of lazy in placing the start and finish icons in the right spot. My heart rate is getting up high. I'm almost done, so fuck it. So it'll probably be when I get 3 miles. I just said plus 15. But 3 miles isn't quite 5K. So I'll keep going a few more minutes. Till I think I've actually gone 5K. Well, I've been going over 5K miles an hour the whole race. So when I get to an hour of run time, I should have gone at least 5K. Like 3.11 miles should be 5K. So I'm pretty damn close. Come on, any second now. It should pop up. Ooh, you're gone 5K. So, confetti, I would think. I don't know, maybe it doesn't work that way in the events. But I've gone 5K now. Yay. Good, happy me. No celebration in the game, but oh, it says best 5K, 58:26. So yeah, I've gone 5K. I don't know why it didn't do any celebration. But whatever, I'll keep going another 30 seconds to get a whole hour in. But I completed the 5K, no big game celebration, but I did it. This was Gaming McFitness. Keep gaming, keep exercising, and if you want to make exercise less boring, try doing both at the same time. Alright, I am signing off in 3, 2, 1. Good night.